Thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Cameron Smith, and I work here at the College of the Holy Cross in the Center for Career Development, primarily with our students who are thinking about pursuing careers or are interested in science, technology, and engineering, as well as the health and life sciences. One of the big questions we get is the idea of pursuing continued schooling, pursuing a master's degree or a certification, another degree in the field of your choosing. And so we are really excited to be able to partner with and be joined today by Sophia. And so she is going to talk to us a little bit about kind of completing your graduate school application, what that process might look like, and then specifically some of the resources and kind of opportunities that you could have if you choose to head up to Portland as your next step. So, Sophia, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to you and then jump back in at the end to talk about some of the resources that we do have here at Holy Cross for students that are thinking about taking this next step.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cameron, for the introduction. So as Cameron said, my name is Sophia. I'm actually one of the recruitment and engagement managers here at the Root Institute in Portland, Maine. If you're not familiar with us, we're actually a fairly new graduate institute. We began back in 2020, and we're part of Northeastern University. So a lot of our programs focus in the area that Cameron works with. So mainly like life sciences, engineering, project management, analytics, STEM-based, etc. But I just wanted to come on here to introduce myself and just go through the next steps of how to complete a graduate school application. Let's move ahead. Perfect. So just to start off, some helpful tips and tricks. First and foremost, always verify your application deadline. You have to know when to apply whenever you start your application anyway. A few of our programs are on a quarterly basis, some are on a semester basis. So just be aware of that wherever you decide to apply. Next, learn more about the programs that you're actually applying for. Do some research on the web. If you ever wanted to learn more, it doesn't hurt to research some faculty, get to know them better, get to know the area of study better. Following, make sure you have to confirm any exams if they're required, like the GRE. I know there's a number, or if you're like an international student for the English-based exam requirement, just be aware whether or not those are required. And then lastly, you're more than welcome to receive one-on-one personalized support through our enrollment team. So they're there for everyone. Take advantage of it, and they're truly just genuinely want to help you. So sweet, let's move ahead. So here's the general outline of our application requirements. So obviously you'll have the standard online application, and then your resume, which is important. Always polish that. Just keep it up to date, honestly. Include your most recent and relevant experience, your area of study, etc. And your unofficial transcripts are really important. You will have to submit your most recent, whether you're on a semester basis or not, your most recent transcript in order to apply. If you were hoping to receive a higher, resubmit it. It doesn't hurt to get in touch with an enrollment counselor or admissions to see if you can post your most up-to-date GPA with your best experience. And then also, I'm sure that you've all heard of our statement of purpose. Every grad school basically has that. It's what it is. It's basically just telling why you want to apply to the school, what sets you apart, your experience, and just honestly being your authentic self. So don't be afraid to just be you. Lastly, you'll just have to have about 1 to 3 references. Depending on the program, it can vary. So just always keep good connections, keep in contact, and really have those reference you who are most familiar with you, not just academic wise, but as an individual. For international application requirements, as mentioned previously, there are some English proficiency exams. If you have any questions about that, don't hesitate to reach out to the team. So that is just a little one. Perfect. So we're going to jump right into the statement of purpose. As I chatted about previously, what it is, it's like a 500 to 1,000 word essay. It explains who you are, your academic and professional interests, and what value you can bring to the classroom and the world beyond. Think of the future, not just your past experience. Really try to relate both of them and intertwine those. For the steps, for just a few basic steps, just brainstorm. any draft is better than not having a draft at all. Just even doing some bullet points of like what you want to include, why you want this degree, your unique story, etc. Then do an outline for the intro, body, and conclusion. Moving forward, as mentioned, practice makes perfect. Be your authentic self, and edit it and refine it. You want to proofread, make sure grammatically everything's okay. And reading aloud does help as well. And always getting a second set of eyes from someone like Cameron or anyone else at Holy Cross. It doesn't hurt. Perfect. So we're just going to do a general application walkthrough. This will just show screenshots of the actual application for Brew and what required information there is. So the first section is biographical and program information. For the biographical information, that would just include basic info like your name, address, etc. For the program information, always make sure to select Portland if you are going to go to Brew, just because that's where all of our programs are. If you only select Northeastern, that'll be the one in Boston or the online Northeastern. So just make sure you select the correct geographical area. And then we do have a number of programs since we have some certificates, even though it might have the same name, for example, project management, it'll say like certificate in project management or master's. Just make sure you read those carefully. Perfect. So for the legal and application information, for the legal questions, in my opinion and experience, just being more honest and straightforward about things is better than not. If you do have any questions that are very specific to any like crime or discipline from your academic institution, you're more than welcome to reach out to myself and I can anonymously put you in touch with someone, just like a what if scenario. For the application information itself, that is honestly just more standard, like, are you a current employee? Any information like that, as you can see, I'm not going to run through all of them. But yeah, we'll jump ahead. For the transcript upload, as I mentioned, you just want to upload your most recent undergrad transcript, just so they can get a full picture of everything, all the classes and experience you have. If you are in hopes of receiving like a higher GPA, if that's your goal for the following semester and you really feel that you'll get that, then advocate for yourself. I mean, definitely upload your most recent one, or even just like communicating with enrollment counselor, letting them know like, look, next fall after this course or like after these 3 courses, my GPA will increase to this and it'll make me more qualified candidate for Roe. So just let them know your goals and what you're looking to achieve. For academic history, a lot of it is more relating to like academics and extracurriculars. As you can see, there's like honors, non-academic distinctions. So just make sure that you enlist all of that. If you are in like a special activity organization, leadership is a huge thing that everyone focuses on. So even if it's a small leadership role, it does not hurt to mention that. Perfect. So test scores and employment. For test scores, it does depend on the program and what you're applying for. Currently, for any of our programs, even like computer science and stuff, we don't require any test scores. That could be subject to change. So just always verify whether or not you'd have to take an exam and what the certain requirement is. For employment, as Cameron and I actually chatted about, and also my colleagues, is like you definitely have to write down your relevant experience. Even if you do have like 5 extra employment like details or like history that you want to include. Personally, I think just putting the most relevant experience, and then you can always expand on that on a call or in person during an interview. But if you do have any specific questions about maybe I should include that, maybe I shouldn't, you're more than welcome to reach out to myself or an enrollment counselor who can help you decide that. Perfect. And the last section is very general. It's just signing that everything is valid and very true. And then in review, just make sure that you review every single information. It's really important to do this. Perfect. So Cameron, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So a couple different places where we can potentially help as you're getting ready for this process. One group to think about are your faculty and maybe past supervisors that you may need as references, depending where you're looking to apply for graduate school. So just starting to have some of those conversations, being able to give at least a month worth of lead time, especially for that first letter of recommendation. And it can get a little bit shorter as we get into kind of second applications and things along those lines. But starting to think about who are those folks now and having the conversations that you may be getting ready to apply for graduate school at some point during your academic career. On campus, we have the Office of Distinguished Fellowship and Graduate Studies. And so Dr. Cashman and his team are really there and willing to kind of help. So another good opportunity to have some conversations, to do some of this exploratory research, and to see what might be out there for you as you're thinking about your graduate studies piece. The Writers Workshop is a wonderful place on campus. They can help with everything from kind of essays, seminar papers, lab reports, but in addition, kind of personal statements and these essays that you may be writing to as part of your applications going forward. So please, I would encourage you, like Sophia said, having someone else take a look at this is really, really good thing, especially a neutral set of eyes that may not be a roommate, that may not be someone that's been deeply involved with you in the entire process, can give you some very honest feedback on it. And then our office here in Hogan 203, the Center for Career Development, we are happy to help with your resume. We are happy to help if the specific program you're looking at requires a CV instead of a resume. We are happy to take a look at your personal statements, to have conversations about the short essay questions, to prep you for some of those interview processes, whether they be short recorded questions, a higher view or something along those lines, or if they're going to be more of a sit down in-person interview with a application, with a counselor, with a dean, with someone, faculty member that might be at the school that you're looking at as well. Again, there are a lot of different folks here on campus. We want to see you succeed. These would be kind of the 3 or 4 that I think are really the first places I would recommend going to for assistance in your application process.
Thank you, Cameron. And I echo everything that Cameron said. Take advantage of every resource that you have on campus at Holy Cross. It's really important. It's better to be prepared than not. And just having an open mind, receiving feedback, to just make yourself a more qualified candidate is huge. Perfect. So I just wanted to go over our general programs here at RU. We have roughly 19. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of programs related to like STEM, life sciences, project management, data analytics, and so on. As you can see, we have different colleges here on the left-hand side written in blue. We have not only actual masters or MPS, but certificates if you're looking to just do something shorter, learn a new skill, etc. Even if you don't have the experience in a number of like these areas, we do have a couple programs called the Align. Basically what that is for computer science and data science. If you don't have any like background in that area from your undergrad, it gives you like that extra foundational year. So like myself being a recent graduate, being a marketing student and business admin, I could do data science, but I do the Align, obviously not having that background, just to set me up for better in the future. So don't be like intimidated by like all of these programs. Honestly, there's a lot to get you through, and we try to do our best to help you with that. Perfect. And then here's just a brief overview of our partners. RU has over like 120, 150 in that range partners here in Portland or the state of Maine. Our goal, not sure if I mentioned it, is actually to increase economic growth, not just within the state of Maine or southern Maine, but the entire New England area, which is huge. We really want to retain that workforce of young innovators, really push for that entrepreneurial thinking mindset, and just sustain success in everyone, everywhere. You also do have access, since Northeastern is a global global campus. We have roughly 9 campuses around the world. You have access to all of our partners, which is actually like, I think 1,000 if I remember correctly. So there's a lot. So you don't necessarily have to do one in Maine or the New England area, so you could do one remotely. With school as well, you don't have to do a full-time master's. You could always do part-time, which is really nice. I just wanted to touch upon like our scholarships as well. A huge determinant of graduate school is the cost. I can see that from firsthand experience. So take advantage of the huge scholarships. We're really grateful for the Alfond family, who's a huge donor here in the state of Maine to many universities. We actually just heard great news that our budget or scholarships are going to stay the same for at least the next year, which is covering more than 50% of every program's tuition. You can get like a specific estimate if you do meet with a financial advisor. We have Julie and Michael here on campus. So let us know if you have any questions. And you can always email me. My email's right there on the screen. I'm always happy to help. Seniors, if you are looking to take your next step, it is pretty soon. So make sure you're in touch with myself, or either an enrollment counselor can put you in touch with them. First and third year students, it's not too early to start thinking about this. Stay in touch with us. I'll be on campus actually on October 23rd, just doing tabling. So please stop by, introduce yourself so I can meet you, and hopefully we can set up another time to chat more individually. Thank you, Cameron, for hosting this with me. I don't know if you had any last comments to add.
Just grateful. Thank you so much to Sophia, to the Rural School for being such a great partner, for willing to come to campus and kind of continue to have these conversations with our students. The last piece to just sort of think about from that financial aspect, for a lot of graduate schools, as you are applying, there may be an initial kind of deposit to hold a space. There may be an application fee. So being kind of smart as you're making the decisions about where you want to go, where you're looking, and understanding the costs that are associated with that application and enrollment process as well. Use the resources like Sophia, a really great partner, willing to have these conversations. It is never silly or foolish. It will not hurt your application to ask those questions. So please reach out. Please visit Sophia when she's here on campus in the coming weeks. And thank you again, Sophia. We appreciate you and kind of all your colleagues.
Thank you, Cameron. I look forward to seeing you all.